Welcome to a demo of Datadog Feature Flags. Datadog Feature Flags bring release control and observability together so teams can see application and user health the moment a feature is exposed to users. Instead of releasing code and then searching for signals across tools, every flag change is automatically tied to real-time APM, RUM, and product analytics data. Remediating a bad release doesn't need to be a scramble, and I'm excited to show you how. Here, we're looking at an existing feature flag, and under targeting rules and rollouts, we'll start configuring who should see this new Buy Now button. What you're seeing here is how we control who gets a feature. At the top, we can define specific groups like beta users on a certain platform or device, and roll the changes out to them first, while everyone else stays on the default experience. That level of precision is powerful, but for something like a change to our purchasing experience, rolling it out to everyone at once is risky. So instead, we roll it out gradually and validate system health at every step. Here, we'll configure a 5-step rollout. Each step increases traffic in a controlled way, and we can choose both the percentage and how long we stay at each stage. This is the same rollout patterns teams often call a canary release, but here it's defined once, directly in the feature flag. Now, instead of babysitting the release, we can attach guardrails to automatically evaluate service health and control how the rollout progresses. These guardrails use the same metrics teams already trust: APM errors, latency, business outcomes. If anything degrades beyond the defined threshold, Datadog can automatically pause the rollout or roll it back. Datadog also supports running multiple rollouts in parallel when teams need to validate changes across services or user segments. What makes Datadog Feature Flags so powerful is its ability to allow you to define who receives which changes and when. This is where targeting rules are applied. Datadog evaluates feature flag rules using real runtime context, filters, attributes, and values pulled directly from the SDK, RUM, and APM. For example, if you want to roll out the new checkout flow only to mobile iOS users in North America, we can easily do so. These changes lets teams validate behavior for specific user segments under real production conditions before expanding more broadly, all through an interface that makes complex logic easy to express without writing code. A common concern with feature flags is whether they add risk to a running application, especially during a cloud provider outage or network disruption. That's why Datadog is designed so feature flags continue to work without relying on a live connection to Datadog. Feature flag decisions are evaluated locally by the SDK inside the application, using a standardized evaluation model based on open feature. That means every request can determine the correct flag value immediately without waiting on an external service. If Datadog is temporarily unreachable because of a network issue, the SDK automatically falls back to the default state defined for that flag. This ensures feature flags remain safe to use in production and never become a source of outage themselves. Once the rollout is live, the next question isn't just, is the system healthy, but how is this change actually performing? Now, let's switch over to a feature flag for a new checkout flow we've been running. Here, we can see real-time metrics directly on the feature flag: exposure, errors, and latency broken down by variant. If this is a server-side change, we're looking at APM metrics. If it's client-side, we'll see RUM and product analytics data instead. This is where the Datadog advantage becomes clear. Feature flag states are automatically correlated with observability data across the platform. If something looks off during the rollout, we can investigate immediately. Let's investigate this peak in latency. The query is already pre-filtered to sessions affected by this specific flag and variant. From here, we can move from high-level trends to individual user experiences. Now, we're seeing exactly what users experienced while this feature was enabled, making it much easier for me to validate whether a change introduced a real regression, a usability issue, or simply expected variation. Instead of stitching together data from multiple tools, teams can move from release to insights in minutes, using the same Datadog workflows they already rely on. As teams ship more features, feature flags naturally accumulate. Without a clear cleanup process, completed flags can turn into long-term technical debt. Datadog helps teams understand when a flag is no longer needed by continuously tracking rollout status and usage. Using MCP and Bits AI integrations, Datadog can automatically generate a pull request that helps teams clean up stale flags and avoid long-term maintenance burden. Releases shouldn't feel risky. Datadog Feature Flags separates deployments from releases so teams can ship safely and make release decisions using real production data. The result is faster releases, fewer incidences, and a release process that actually scales with how teams build software today.